Alright everybody, welcome back to Esports Roundup, where I recap this week in esports. Stella's got her groove back. We're here on Friday, and I'm pretty much on time. I mean, we're doing good. It's good to be back. We've got a fairly packed week this week, fairly packed podcast, so I would say let's just get into it with our tournament section. Starting off with ESL1 Birmingham. Yeah, we've moved on to the bracket, and this is what it looks like. Team Falcons lost to Tundra Esports. OG lost to BetBoom. Even though in Game 2, BetBoom picked the hero that they meant to ban in like the last phase, and they did lose that game, but they still managed to come out on top of OG in that series. Actually, not now, Greninja guy. Bad timing. Then Liquid beat Heroic in the lower bracket. Extreme Gaming is playing versus G2IG right now. And then we have Falcons versus Liquid in the lower bracket, and then OG versus whoever wins. And then in the upper bracket final, we have Tundra Esports versus BetBoom team. This is Esports Roundup. It's my esports podcast. Alright, moving on to ESL Pro League 19 for Counter-Strike, and this is a pretty big one, so bear with me. A lot of teams, a lot of matches, very complicated system. Group A, we have FaZe Clan and Imperial Esports. I'm not gonna go over every single match, but basically what you need to know is in the upper bracket final, it's Astralis versus 3D Max. Bit of a big upset that 3D Max is there, but congratulations to them for making it so far. In the mid-bracket semifinal, we have Eternal Fire versus FaZe Clan happening right now. Eternal Fire is up 1-0. And in the lower bracket semifinal, we have Fnatic versus Virtus Pro, and then Saw against, I guess, whoever loses between Eternal Fire and FaZe Clan. The bracket is really weird. We have like a triple elimination thing going on. The major isn't even double elimination. Like, what's happening? Like, I don't really understand the system. And this is just Group A. We've also got Group B going on right now, in which case we have Vitality versus the Mongols in the upper bracket final. Again, big upset. The Mongols beating G2 Esports 2-0. And then M80 beating G2 Esports 2-1 in the mid-bracket quarterfinal. The mid-bracket semifinal is now going to be M80 versus BetBoom. In the lower bracket semifinal, we got G2 Esports versus Team Falcons, and in the lower bracket quarterfinals, we have Shark Esports versus Tai Lu. Alright, moving on to Group C. We haven't had any games played in there. Everyone starts in the upper bracket quarterfinals. Mouse versus Bad News Kangaroos, Gamer Legion versus ENCE, Furia Esports versus Liquid, and Force versus Monty. And same thing in Group D. No games played yet. We have Complexity versus Para Esports, Heroic versus Nip, Big versus Boss, and FlyQuest versus Navi. Alright, moving on to another big one, EVO Japan, the second biggest fighting game tournament of the year. Maybe, I don't know. It's not quite EVO, but it's EVO Japan. And we have multiple games here, starting off with Street Fighter 6. Here you can see all the notable entrants, and no surprise, it's a lot of people from Japan. We've also got some decent Asia-Pacific representation, which just makes sense if you think about the geographical proximity. Outside of that, we've got Menard, Capcom Cup champion representing the Americas, along a few others. Big Bird dropped out, that's why his name is like crossed out. I'm pretty sure that's what that means, at least. He's from EMEA. I'm not gonna predict the winner for this one because I don't know anything about Street Fighter 6. We also have Tekken 8, kind of the same situation for me. While I have played Tekken 8, I still don't really know anything about the esports. Here are the notable entrants. Actually, a lot of Asia-Pacific representation. Like, Korean people love Tekken. Look at that. Look at how many Korean people have entered. Like, notable Korean entrants. And yeah, also decent EMEA representation compared to, like, the Americas. Also, FaZe has signed a fighting game player? Crazy. Anyhow, now we're moving on to what I would consider my wheelhouse, which is Guilty Gear Strive. Again, a lot of Japanese notable entrants, but a decent amount of American representation. But looking at EMEA, bro, it's rough. It's just Leffen / like dropped out or something. If I had to predict the winner, I mean, I would love to go with Leffen, but if Leffen is actually gonna play ABA and Happy Chaos, I can't really hand it to him. I can't really predict him as the winner. I would have to go with Umisho. I think she's gonna win. Alright, Moving on to the final game I'm going to talk about. There's 2 other games that I don't want to talk about because I don't really care about them and they're not as popular as the others. But we have Street Fighter Third Strike. Justin Wong is actually entering that one. And Daigo is actually entering Street Fighter 6, which I forgot to mention. Yeah. I don't really know anything about Street Fighter Third Strike. I mean, the community is really passionate about it. It's great to see that it's still going, but I'm not going to predict a winner simply because I don't know anything about that game. All right, but that'll do it for our tournament section. Moving on to our main stories, starting off with esports on the big screen. Yeah, the Esports World Cup did a promo on the Las Vegas Sphere. Here you have Arslan Ash standing in front of the Madison Sphere Garden, if you will, the MSG Sphere, with his promo on the background. The Twitter video that the Esports World Cup released was like 1.5 minutes long. I don't know how long it actually took or how long the stuff was shown on the Sphere, but it's kind of more about the social media engagement anyway. What I think about this, well, it didn't move the needle on my Madison Square Garden stock, so do I really care? No, I think it's cool. It's great to promote esports, even though I do believe that the novelty of the Sphere has kind of worn off. I think it's still cool. I think it's probably really cool for the people that like got featured in it, like Arslan Ash or Quinn or Imperial Hal. They basically showed like a bunch of the games and teams and like the players that are going to be at the Esports World Cup. Yeah, really cool still. I don't know how much it cost, but I mean they're really investing big in this thing, and I'm excited to see how it turns out. All right, moving on. Rare Riot W. The pipeline is real for the premiere in Valorant. Riot has now officially linked the premiere to the Valorant Challengers, which means you can, by playing Premier, qualify to the Valorant Challengers division, which I think is great. They made a new league or a new division. Like basically the top of Premier is the Invite League or division. I'm not entirely sure. Basically, it doesn't exist yet, but you can qualify for it this season, and then by doing well in the Invite League, you can qualify to Challengers. So now you've got an actual pipeline from just playing in the game, playing with your team, with your friends, to qualifying to the actual esport. I think that's great. No third-party sign-up platform or anything required. So yeah, I mean, if you're trying to make it out the mud, if you're trying to go pro in Valorant, I think this is great. I would say you should probably get on that right now. I know my brother's been playing Premier. I don't know if he still does, but I think it's great. I think it's a great opportunity to prove yourself and maybe just like play with a little higher stakes. And even if you like don't make it, I think it's still nice to have something that competitive in a game. I mean, Valorant is not the first game to do that. Dota used to do it with the Battle Cup. If you won like the highest tier Battle Cup, you'd get like invited to the qualifiers or something. But yeah, I think it's great to have this kind of pipeline in your game. All right, moving on to our final topic. And when I read this, I was like, we had a Riot W and we had a Riot L. So, League of Legends pro Leon from Invictus Gaming got suspended and fined for pushing a teddy bear. I was like, what? Typical Riot, always suspending players over innocuous stuff. But I read into it, and it's actually not like that at all. Apparently, he jumped on the bear like a Lotso Disney bear and made inappropriate movements on his live stream. I was like, dude, it sounds like he freaking humped the teddy bear on stream. And he made a statement. He said, no, I had the music rocking in my headphones and I thought the bear was really cute, so I hugged and shook it. I don't have a video or anything. I'm going to try to get one for the YouTube video, but like, dude, it sounds like he freaking humped that bear live on stream. And in that case, I would say it's actually warranted that he got a suspension and that he got fined, because I don't want my esport associated with that. I mean, yeah, I think that's pretty wild stuff. I'm going to try to find a video or a screenshot or something like that if it exists. But yeah, that will pretty much do it for my show. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. All right, I'm going to end stream. I'm going to get some coffee. I'm going to make a thumbnail, and I'm going to go live with another Crab's Treasure. Stay tuned.